Coming to you live from Law Nation Studios, straight to your cell phone, right? Straight to your cell phone. Let's talk about this. Cowboys, current coaching staff, continuity, plus drafting. Oh, I put drafting. It's supposed to be draft prospects. Charge it to my head, not my heart. Let's go. Be sure to hit that like, share this content. Let's continue to grind and shine, baby. As the room fill up, shout out to y'all, beautiful people for jumping in. Salute to Dan Quinn. Salute. Coach Mike McCarthy. Tell him more. Let's go. Shout out to you, Albert. I'm almost finished. Almost finished here. There we go. Let them wait. I'm talking to my friends, Cowboy community. Appreciate you. Appreciate y'all for jumping in. All right. What a beautiful day today on this day. This is the day that you can sign franchise tags, of course, and everything like that. And the Cowboys are looking right at the possibility of using the franchise tag to two guys, I believe, Dalton Schultz and as well as Randy Gregory. Those will be the two guys, but they can only use one, I believe, because of where they stand at as it relates to the money, the remunerations, the pocket chain that they have. They need some help. And I did a video earlier today about where they should go or where they might go. And some people disagree. Some people said that you should pay Schultz versus Randy Gregory. And when I look at the list, I'm looking at it like there's a lot of tight ends out there that can give you Dalton Schultz production. Now, as far as Randy Gregory, I know he only had 6 sacks, but his skill set is unique. That shoulder bend, baby. The way he can capture that edge, baby. I don't know, but I'm going to tell you one thing, though. $20 million, if the Cowboys pay $20 million for that franchise tag for Randy Gregory, I can hear somebody right now.
You must be out of your goddamn mind.
That's what they're going to be saying. Shout out to you, Father. Appreciate you, Iceberg Slim. Appreciate you. Drafting Kobe Dean. Yeah, I feel you. People who want to go ahead and go into this draft situation and scenario. No tags for us. Now, Stephen White, let me go all the way up. No tags for us. You're right. I believe that this year should be the year that the Cowboys look into this thing and say, you know what? We ain't tagging nobody. we ain't tagging nobody. And I'm using that word, we ain't. We sure ain't tagging nobody. Because I just look at it like this. If you look back at the successful teams, they don't use the franchise tag. The franchise tag, to me, in my opinion, is like one of those payday loans. You're going to spend way too much money. And on top of that, it's really not worth it when you spend that amount of resources on somebody and then you got to go back and still pay the man for the next year, for 1 year rental. That's way too much money. Way too much money. On top of that, if you look at what the Dallas Cowboys did with Dak Prescott, the Dallas Cowboys did with Dak Prescott. Way too much money with the franchise tag. It was just way too much money, Cowboy Nation. Especially when you're talking about what it was, 31 million, then it was a 32 million. Look, you could have just 31 million, then it was 37 million dollars, right? And I'm not counting players' money, nor am I counting what the system is generating. But what I'm saying is collectively, that mindset is to be down. That's just how I look at it. So the Cowboys should have went on ahead and ripped the Band-Aid off, and we wouldn't have been worrying about this and that. So that's how I look at it. Give me 1 second right here. Let me find this right quick. Give me 1 second. God dog it. I knew it was going to come up around this time. But neither here nor there. Let me just play this right quick while I find it.
With Dan Quinn coming back. Now, Mike had tried to say at the Super Bowl with all the interviews that he knew that Quinn was coming back. How worried were you that Dan Quinn was actually going to leave as your DC?
Not worried, huh?
It was, he was a hot commodity coming into this off season. So, for me, I can't say I knew much, about the decision that he was going to make. But, it's actually one of those things just where, when you put together the group we put together, and then also, the things that went on throughout the season with Coach Quinn and guys stepping up and playing some good ball, it's kind of like it's expected when you get to this point. Then it just all comes down to the decision of that individual, and getting Quinn back was a huge win, and it was one that was much needed just to try your best to keep this group together, because the strides we made in year one, it can give us a lot of upside going into year two with guys being together, guys having a camaraderie with each other. So, that's a huge win. Number one win so far this offseason.
Jayron.
All right, so that's Jayron Kearse. Shout out to 105.3 The Fan. Unless Jayron got some information that we don't know, and I think that he should know first, but what have you, shouldn't he be a guy that gets signed, right? He's a free agent right now. So unless he got a contract that we don't know, Jayron Kearse, he need to be one of the guys to get signed. I really believe that, right now he's speaking his wisdom teeth. You know what I'm saying? If he still got them. So I do like the ideology of bringing Dan Quinn back, right? I didn't like the fact that the nature of Mike McCarthy opening his mouth and saying that, yeah, I try to lobby for Dan Quinn to stay because if it was 12 years ago, I would have told him, yeah, go ahead and take another job elsewhere. Let's not be fooling yourself. Look. So that's how I look at it, Cowboy Nation. I just look at it like he should be worrying about, not worried in the sense of worried that he's going to lose his job or scared, but he should make sure that he got his oxygen mask on it first, right? When they say you're going to fly in the plane and the lady that goes and tell everybody, make sure you secure the oxygen mask over your face first before you try to help your other partner right beside you or what have you. He needs to secure his oxygen mask. Kearse is a hunter. Appreciate you. I agree. Sign Kearse. This is from Michael Johnson. Appreciate you, man. The fastest man on the land.
Kearse joined us here on The Fan. What was different this year from your standpoint? This was the breakout year for you. Was it opportunity that you got to play, basically every snap? Did something click within the scheme? What was it?
For me, it was just opportunity. I mean, you can, through my previous 5 years, if you turn the tape on, the opportunities that I did have, I played good football. But it was never a week in, week out thing where it was constantly Jayron Kearse on the field. So, it was just the fact that I was able to get that opportunity every week. It wasn't a week where the opportunity went away or, the opportunity increased. I had the same exact opportunity throughout the year, and I was able to produce and such. So, it was, for me, it was the opportunity and also just the belief from everybody in the building, and me also knowing I can do it, me also having that confidence. And like I said, the belief from the coaches and my teammates that, I can get the job done at a very high level.
Yeah. Show of hands who would love to see Kearse back in a silver and blue uniform, and what all he brought to the table is remarkable. So my thing is with Jayron Kearse and what he's bringing, even in this interview, it's fascinating, right? Shout out to you, T-Dub. Appreciate you. We need to sign him. Yeah, so I need to show of hands. I know we only got a handful of people over here, but on my Facebook, shout out to y'all, man. Starboy C-Pain, appreciate you. And shout out to the people that's on the Twitter and Twitch. Appreciate you for jumping in. That catch from Kearse was whoa. Yeah, Stephen White, are you talking about the I think which one was a better play from Kearse? The interception on Travis Kelce, or the interception in that New Orleans Saints game? Kearse, man, he showed up, baby. Yo, let me give Kearse one of these. Shout out to you, Lady Jessica.
Pro Football Focus said you were the most improved player on the Cowboys roster this year, and you were the league's second best tackler. Do you know?
The league second best tackler. Let's rewind just a little bit just so you guys can hear that again.
Focus said you were the most improved player on the Cowboys roster this year, and you were the league's second best tackler. Do you know? You had the second fewest missed tackle percentage in the league. Do you know how many missed tackles you had this year?
Yeah, I had 4.
Oh,
that's right. Dang.
Yeah. Well done.
That's well done.
Well done.
What happened on those 4? Why wasn't it 3?
Why wasn't it done? Right?
Not enough gushers.
Honestly, I remember every missed tackle I had. For the simple fact that, I pride myself in being a solid tackler, being a great tackler.
Right.
So, a lot of those was just actually 2 of them came on like in breaking routes. I took a bad angle against some pretty good football players, and they were able to outrun me and cross my face. What's caused me to miss those tackles. So one of them was on the screen against the Raiders, where I just end up like I said again. Josh Jacobs ended up crossing my face. I went into too aggressive and didn't have my feet under me, able to cross my face. Was just like, those types of things where when you're going against such high level players, and you don't take every calculated risk or use the same technique you've been using, it can cost you. So,
dang,
for me,
what a breakdown!
Yeah, never allowed anybody to cross your face in the NFL, right? At least not a free one. And I see y'all. Appreciate you. Jason says the interception on Kelce. Yeah, that was a dope one. One of the interceptions that he had that he should have had was against the Chargers. It was unique. That boy reached up there, and that's when they were trying to flag whoop us. They flag whoop us all the time. Or they called I think they called that play incompleted pass, but he picked that one up. Yeah, it was against the Chargers, I believe, and they flagged whooped him because they said that he PI'd the guy, and we saw that he was just going for the ball. How can you call pass interference when he got the ball in his hand? If anything, it should have been the other way around. So shout out to J-Rock, man. He been playing his butt off.
It's just that I gotta, understanding that, my mistakes that caused that, and then trying to correct those mistakes. So,
no doubt.
But yeah, it's the, I try to remember I remember the bad just as well as I remember the good, because that's the only way I can correct that and move forward and take a step moving forward.
All right, Jayron, since you broke that down, I want to get a little scouting report with the tight ends? I mean, maybe some of
Yeah.
these free agent teams could be asking you this as well. Hopefully you don't leave, but maybe they're going to ask you with your meetings you take, because you tweeted, no other safety goes toe-to-toe with every tight end week in and week out. So I went down the Cowboys' schedule this year, and I just want your quick scouting report on a couple of these guys and prepping or playing them. And let's start off with the playoff game going up against Kittle.
Kittle, definitely electrifying tight end. Much better at blocking than a lot of tight ends and receiving. You don't get a lot of tight ends that can do both. You either got a pass catcher or you got a run blocker. And, Kittle is a guy that once he gets the balls in his hands, it's always a chance that it's a touchdown.
Right.
But also, when turning the tape on and watching them, as well as a lot of other tight ends, guys are playing timid. Guys are playing scared. For me, I actually trained with a tight end that I played against. And I asked him, I said, did you guys know I was going to cover the tight end? He said, yeah. And the number one thing we knew was you were going to get hands on. A lot of guys, when they're playing these Darren Wallers, these Kelce's,
Right.
they want to get off the ball. They want to back up. I don't believe, anyone loves getting hands put on them before they even get into their route. So, watching the tape, that's the number one thing I want to see is how does he react when he's getting pressed? How does he react when a guy's getting hands on him from the start? And, I go into every week where, I know what they like to do. They know what I like to do.
Ooh-wee. Get those hands on them. No free release, baby.
Now it's all about the mentality, and it's all about who can get to who first. And, I go in and I give them exactly what they've seen on film, and if you can beat that, then it's time to throw something else at you. But off top, I'm going in and I'm doing what I'm good at doing, and, hopefully it works out for me. Majority of the time it has.
Jayron Kearse, Cowboys safety here on 105.3 The Fan, getting ready for free agency. Before we get to that,
now he said a mouthful on all of this. One of the bigger things that I picked up was the fact that he said he liked to get his hands on said tight end guy that's coming off his release. And a lot of tight ends, think about it, tight ends tend to not be the best route runners. You can see where they're going as it relates when they turn their shoulders, where they're going to go in the route. You got a few polished route runners as it relates to tight end. Of course, you got Travis Kelce of the worlds, and of course, you have even on this team a Blake Jarwin, a Darren Waller, for the Raiders. You got Schultz, he's pretty good, but you can see where they're going to go with their routes, and he throw them off their marker. And it's no surprise to me that Kittles and as well as Travis Kelce didn't really eat, So shout out to them. Let's go, man. Appreciate you, Stephen White, man. Appreciate you working hard over there, man. Y'all listen to Stephen White that's in the chat right now, man. Y'all listen to him, man. Y'all get those likes up, baby.
your thoughts on, we have Jerry Jones on every week. We have Mike McCarthy on every week, and that tends to create a lot of headlines. Mike and CD at the Super Bowl we're talking about. Man, we knew it was a lot of attention, but we didn't realize it was this much being a member of the Cowboys. What have you made of some of the Mike McCarthy drama and all the questions about his job status going into next year, Jayron?
For me, I haven't really made too much about it. For me, Coach McCarthy's been a great coach. Been one of the best coaches I've had. He's the first offensive-minded coach I've played for. But it hasn't been, outside of us taking care of what we should have taken care of this year. He's been a great coach, and you can sit back and put it however you want to put it, and on who's to blame and that type of thing. But for me, I don't believe the things that went on this year were his fault. Because we're the ones out playing the game. So I really don't get how you can unless it's decision making or, clock management and those types of things. As far as the game being played, penalties and things like that, that falls on the players. And, being a guy that's very self-reflective, that Niners game was easily winnable for us. And,
Right.
We had maybe 16, 17 penalties, I believe. Started the game with a penalty.
Yeah.
We didn't play winning football in the crucial times. We didn't play disciplined football in the crucial times. So, that's just what happens. That doesn't fall back on the coach. That doesn't fall back on anybody, in the front office. That's players, because we're the one on the field. And that's just what it boils down to. So as far as the drama going with Coach McCarthy's job security, I haven't really paid much attention to it. I've heard it and come across it, but I don't, for me, I just don't understand it, because, to go from where the Dallas Cowboys were 2 years ago compared to last year, it's
Dallas,
it's a pretty big jump, and it's only going to continue to get better if we can keep this group together, keep the band together. So the job security, I don't think it's a coaching thing. It's a thing about what we need to do to get better as players, as a team, and understand how to play disciplined football in the most crucial times of the game. Which a lot of the times we didn't do last year. So
Great answer.
I think that's the main thing.
Man, I wasn't ready. I flat out wasn't ready for this. Let me know in the comment box, did you guys hear of any excuses from Jayron Kearse? No way. Jayron was pretty much saying that, hey, I don't see where all of the anger is coming from. Basically, they improved from the following year until now, and of course, the last time the Cowboys won this many games were a long time ago, right? 2016, right? This amount of games, basically. So I see some people is in the comments saying that, that is a good one. And I see somebody said he's gone. Well, the Cowboys, if they let that dude up out of there and leave, the way he's talking, balance, then they got some more problems going on. Oh, they got a lot more problems going on that we don't know. And I like the way he pretty much explained what's going on with the coaching staff, what's going on with the players, and he put it back on the players and saying that, okay, we are the ones that's out there on the field. And that is true. That is true. Let's go. Let's listen to, I think you got one more saying for this one.
Great answer. I think we hear your lovely daughter in the background saying, Dad, let's go to Disney. So we'll let you go with that. Thank you for the time. Best of luck in free agency. And we hope to hear you as a member of the Cowboys come on the show again next year. Thank you, Jayron.
That's a good one, man. That was the end of that episode there. So that you guys can listen to the full interview without me pausing and rewinding. Click that link there, and you can get a chance and opportunity to listen to the full one. I believe as of recently, 105.3 The Fan, they are also live on YouTube, so be sure to check them out on YouTube. I think they got that whole video up on YouTube. Accountability, yeah. Robin, yeah, good morning, Law. This is the minister. I love your live streams at the doctor's office about a player isn't speaking up on accountability and speaking out. Yeah, appreciate you. I hope all is well, Robin, on your doctor's visit. So these are the things that we must take a great deed of information on. Now, what Jayron Kearse got to understand too is that the media, they can't sell positivity. They can't. Negative news sells hotter, I mean, the whole beef situation with, if I was to do a whole nother YouTube channel, right? And I was to talk about like current events, about the dude that can swim, but he's really a female, but he's had to transition into a female, what have you. That will make tons of views. I get it, right? or if I talk about Kanye West and was it Big Draco? You know, them going back and forth about a song that they didn't get a chance to compete, or Kanye left him out on a song. I would get thousands and thousands of views. If I talk about other topics outside of Cowboy Nation, I'm quite sure the way my platform looks and the aesthetics, I can get thousands and thousands of views if I talk negative talk. I get it. But that's just how the media use Cowboys content as well. They find a player, they talk bad about them all year long, and then when the Pro Bowl or off season, they speak glowingly of them, and then they set this talk track where the Cowboys won't even go to the playoff. They're not going to be back-to-back. Watch, listen, they're going to say the Cowboys would not have back-to-back division championships, or they won't go to the playoff this year because they lost so many players, and then when we go to the playoff again, it's going to be they're going to move the goalposts. Well, the Cowboys haven't won in 27 years, and this will be this and that. JK just put in place why he needs to be here. This is from Lamar. Appreciate you. Yeah. Lori says, yeah, straight up. Yeah, you know, if I talk current events and TMZ law, boy, this channel, I have 200,000 followers over this month. But I go all the way back to my guy Tupac. You know, he said, you made a G today, but you made it in the sleazy way, you know. Law, I hear that, Law. Peace sells, but, you know, who's buying? You know, nobody's buying. Yeah, you're right. Kelly Price, appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. All right, so the Dallas Cowboys. Speaking of what we heard from the horse's mouth, Jayron Kearse, let's listen in to Get Up, and I'm going to give you guys my thoughts on what they had to say about the current coaching situation.
McCarthy won twice as many games in his second season as he did his first, but hasn't won a playoff game since 2016 when he was with Green Bay. He's coming back. So is his defensive coordinator. That's Dan Quinn. The Dallas defense was vastly improved, led the league with 26 interceptions and 34 takeaways. New Orleans had better defensive efficiency. And then there's Kellen Moore on the other side. That was among the best seasons he's had as well. The Dallas led the league in yards per game under Dak Prescott, a return from a season-ending ankle injury back in 2020. And Dak is excited about the continuity. He says, quote, I think as much as it benefits me, it benefits just the offense in general and the team structure and culture. We were fortunate to get through the coaching changes, keeping the OC and DC. It brings a lot of excitement, I know, to the building. And
all right, so as you guys see right here, that's a statement from Dak Prescott on, you know, the continuity aspect and the benefit of bringing everyone back. And of course, we got 21, I believe, free agents out on this list for the Cowboys, and we can't bring everyone back. Some guys are going to get a bigger house and a newer car somewhere else. But unfortunately, that's just how the business structure is. So when we listen and we read to what Dak Prescott had to say, he said, look at the good word in there. Excitement. It brings a lot of excitement, I know, to the building of bringing back somebody for the ride once again. Now, I know that most of the people that's watching right now, we didn't throw a parade when they said, oh my gosh, we bringing back Kellen Moore. Or we didn't really, have fireworks going because of Mike McCarthy being back for another year. And Dan Quinn, even the fan base was still kind of like in the middle with Dan Quinn, because there are a lot of people still saying that, hey, man, he good and all, but he ain't that good. Come on, man, he ain't great. He good, but he ain't great. So winning cures everything. And 12-5 is not good enough, right? First round playoff loss is not good enough. I come here to tell y'all, beautiful people, my anger, my upset, my frustration is this right here. Even if we won a playoff game and then for the next week get bounced, we would still have the same talk tracks. It would still be 27 years in waiting, right? Or in counting. Even if we win 3 playoff games. You guys get what I'm saying? So the name of the game is every year for Cowboy fandoms and everybody that pretty much talk Cowboys, Super Bowl or bust. But the reality is that as good of a season the Cincinnati Bengals had, that is equivalent of how hard it is still to not lift that Lombardi trophy up. There will be 31 upset, disappointed teams out there and fans out there. Now, if you're a fickle fan, if you have more than one team, then that is the flow. That is the way the NFL would like for you to feel, right? They want you to feel like, let me see if I had my guy right here. He says, this is my guy, Nix. I posted earlier this week, amazing. Nobody mentioned when a player, shout out to you, Jason, for the donation there. When a player is underpaid, they only cry when they believe that a player is overpaid. And that is a big win for the NFL owners to get the fans to turn on the players because of their payment, their remunerations from a multi-billion-dollar industry. And his response was, best magic trick in the world is to get regular everyday people to side with billionaires over millionaires. And basically that is what's going on. There's a lot of people that will look at Ezekiel Elliott contract and say, hey, the Cowboys overpaid, man. DeMarcus Lawrence contract, hey, man, the Cowboys silly. They must be, hear my son?
You must be out of your goddamn mind.
To pay DeMarcus Lawrence all of their coins, right? And of course, who else we can pull up? Oh, Rain Dakota Prescott. You paid that man how much money? That's too much money to give a backup quarterback, right? That's what I'm hearing throughout, up and down the comment section, right? But the NFL made a unique way of getting everybody to side with the owners. Well, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, to side with the owners and sully and denigrate the players because of this thing called the salary cap. Now, the salary cap was put in place so that it can be parity in the league, so everybody can have a fair shake at it. It's equivalent. It's equivalent to me looking at everybody that's watching right now and saying, hey, just for following Law Nation channel, everybody get $100,000, right? I mean, would it be fair? I believe I have over 100,000 subscribers then, right? Hey, man, I follow Law Nation. Everybody starts off at $100,000, right? Now, what they do with the money is what they do with it. But every year, depending on the market, they get their re-ups, right? So that's just how it is. And unfortunately, that's how the NFL is designed. As everyone starts off, I think this year's is $208 million. That's the salary cap. Every team got $208 million to work with. Now, it's designed, the NFL and how it's structured, that every position is not the same. Quarterbacks get paid more. Hear me out. Quarterbacks get paid more than running backs. Running backs get paid more than kickers. So across the league, you got this disparity in pay. Owners with the $208 million that they got, they can pay whoever they want with the $208 million, but that's their cap. So if they decide to pay the kicker $90 million, they can. But here's the problem. What this team do for their organization may be over the tops of what the Saints do for theirs, or what let me use the Jets, what they do for their organization. But the problem is that, like all of the fandom that we have, we buying merch, we walking around the streets, we watching every game. All proceeds goes to the Jets. All proceeds goes to the New Orleans Saints. because they got this thing called revenue sharing. And what the owners do with their billions and billions of dollars, they look at it and say, 208 is the cap. I think that the salary cap is hurting the true fan parts of it, because the fans going to look at it like, man, DeMarcus Lawrence is greedy for wanting that much money. Or Dalton Schultz, he don't deserve $12 million. Or they started to count the fact that Randy Gregory, he should take a discount because the Cowboys stuck by him, when he was going through his trials and tribulations. It's crazy how everything is going these days in time with accounting of money. But that's the name of the game, unfortunately, Cowboy Nation. So no salary cap for drafted players. Greg Berry. I think that Greg Berry, that will be a good. Here's what I believe. This is what I believe what they should do. And hear me out. The salary cap should only exist for guys that you get outside of your draft. So the guys that you did your homework on in the draft, you shouldn't have any cap for that player. Meaning that if you somehow drafted a quarterback in the 4th round and you was paying him $680,000 for the first 3 years or 4 years or what have you, and now it's time for him to get his money, there shouldn't be a talk track of saying, hey, he don't deserve this nor deserve that because X, Y, and Z players doing this and that. And now you have your reservations on paying a person because it will hurt your $208 million salary cap. Or you went and made the initial investment to draft DeMarcus Lawrence, and he started to give you 10 to 14 sacks a year. You shouldn't put that kid through, because these are all kids, by the way, with multi-million dollars, right? These are all people that's in their 20s. Nobody who got that big contract was in their 30s. So when people were talking about DeMarcus Lawrence value and worth and everything, you're talking about a 24, at the time, a 24, 25, or 26-year-old guy saying that he don't deserve Khalil Mack's money, the 105 or what have you, $1 million, right? But let's say this right here. We don't know how that affects a man's psyche, right? And on top of that, Cowboy Nation, as it relates to a person that's going to be drafted or what have you, or drafted or what have you, will it help the fandom? Because we're supposed to be fans. Will it help the fan part of it if you keep said player that you drafted and you don't have to worry about the money of a person that you draft, of a person that you rooted for, a person that you didn't change your mind around for? It's crazy. Appreciate everybody for jumping in. The NFL hustle is real. Yeah, Jonah Hill, yeah, it's a real one, C. Burleson says, I just want to see us go all in one time, Law. That's it, one time. Can you elaborate a little bit further into your planning there? When you say all in, are you saying all in what aspect? All in on the draft of saying, okay, we're going to move. Like, who's the best player in this draft? Who's the best player in this 2022 draft, from your opinion? Yeah, Sam says it's soft cap. Yeah. Yeah. Think Hooker would get re-signed. Yeah, but they need to work on that Jayron Kearse. I want to know in your comment, who do you guys perceive the best player in the draft? I really want to know. Jordan Davis. Now, well, you don't have to really go all in. I think he's going to fall a little. Like, who's the number one? Like, who is the flat out? All right, good. I see it. Joseph says Aiden Hutchinson, right? I know for sure by far he's number one edge guy, right? Jordan Davis, Jay Lombardi. I see 2 Jordan Davises out there. Put it like this: who's going to get drafted first, Jordan Davis or Aiden Hutchinson, right? But let me use y'all example, since I see multitude of people saying Jordan Davis. If Jordan Davis is by far the best player in this draft, and you're saying go all in, when it's time to draft, you got the 24th spot. If you're going to go all in the draft, that means that you're going to package up some picks to slide up and move up to get Jordan Davis. Now, by far, I like Jordan Davis. I ran a few mock drafts or what have you. I'm not saying that he's going to be a top 5 pick or a top 6 pick. I just don't think that that's going to happen, by the way. But if the Cowboys feel like he's the best player in the draft and he will make a big impact for this team, then go all in. Because the Cowboys did that before when they looked at Mo Claiborne. They went all in. That year they went into free agency, and this is the snake that keeps showing its ugly head at us. It just keeps showing up, pop up like surprise. I'm here. This snake just pops up because in that off season we went and got a Brandon Carr, and then they said, okay, let's match this thing up in the draft and slide all the way up and get a Mo Claiborne. That's what happened that year. I think Neal would be the number 1 guy. I feel you, man. I feel you. Yep, so that's how everything goes from here. Yeah, let's go from here. Let's go. Listen.
While generally we consider stability and continuity to be positive words in pro football, RG3, there might be some reason to see this the other way. How do you see it?
Yeah, continuity is often a key or a precursor to success. I just don't look at it that way for the Cowboys. They're bringing back the 2 coordinators from a team that underachieved last year. And not only that, they're also bringing back the 2 clubhouse favorites to replace Mike McCarthy after he had a tough year with clock management. So when I look at Kellen Moore, I think to myself, man, this Cowboys offense is too talented for them to have the struggles that they had late in the year last year and not be clicking on all cylinders. And what are they going to do with Amari Cooper and Michael Gallup? They've got extreme talent at the wide receiver position that helped them lead the league in yards per game, but they have to figure out if they're going to bring them back. What are they going to do at running back? You got Ezekiel Elliott, who you're paying a gazillion Bitcoin to. You got Tony Pollard, who's out there giving you massive amounts of production when he's not really getting paid that much. So I think they have a lot more questions, but continuity might not be a good thing for the Cowboys as they've been mediocre for a while now.
Look, I can't believe it. The ESPN organization then came over here and they went and got RJ3. What we normally call him RJ Nate, but I ain't gonna disrespect the man like that. He in the suit or what have you. But let me share you guys. He's the guy that's talking about the Cowboys. He is the guy that people are listening to about this whole conversation. Bona fide, solidified hater of the Cowboys. Believe it or not now, shout out to him when he was in Baylor and all of that other stuff, right? But come on, man. Come on. Can we all put in the comment box, lean forward just a little bit? How many victories? How many victories do he possess over the Cowboys? Now in 2012, baby. Oh my goodness, it was terrible for us in 2012. But can we just tell him to lean forward just a little bit? Just right there. It ain't gonna hurt too much. We might. He started to look like 300 just a little bit. Andre 300, but. Oh my God! Can I go one more time just for y'all, man? Can I go? Come on, one more time. Lean forward. Please lean forward just a little bit. Maybe I can slap the braids off your head right there. Go to your room. Oh, Andre 2000. What is he, Andre 2000? He's Andre 4000. No, he's Andre 1000. Yeah. All right, I had too much fun with him. All right, so who's next? Who's next is going to get an ESPN job that despised the Cowboys or played against the Cowboys? I can only imagine, right? Like who else would be out there, you know? Oh, my gosh, man. Let's listen to more what he had to say. But let me rewind to his points because right here.
I think to myself, man, this Cowboys offense is too talented for them to have the struggles that they had late in the year last year and not be clicking on all cylinders. And what are they going to do with Amari Cooper and Michael Gallup? They've got extreme talent at the wide receiver position that helped them lead the league in yards per game, but they have to figure out if they're going to bring them back. What are they going to do at running back? You got Ezekiel Elliott, who you're paying a gazillion Bitcoin to. You got Tony Pollard, who's out there giving you massive amounts of production when he's not really getting paid that much. So I think they have a lot more questions, but continuity might not be a good thing for the Cowboys as they've been mediocre for a while now.
Are they doing the contracts in crypto these days? If that word had eluded me, but it's an interesting perspective. Dan, it is an interesting way of looking at it. Continuity amongst the players may not be 100%, and with the coaches, that is a mixed bag.
Right, and look, I mean, Dak Prescott's going to say what he's going to say. He's not going to say, oh, I wish we hadn't brought the coordinators back. Right. That would be a bad thing for the leader of your team to say. Right. But I think what the key for the Cowboys is assessing what they really were on offense. And this is a team that scored 40 points a game in its 6 division games and 26 points a game in its other 11 games, right? So when they were playing in the NFC East, they were a dominant offense. When they weren't, they were not a dominant offense. They were an average one. So RG references Amari Cooper, a candidate for a potential cut if he doesn't restructure his contract. They have work to do at the wide receiver position, whether they keep him or not. They have other, the offensive line is showing some age, some health issues. They have to beef up some places there. So there are things to be done on offense, and the continuity on the roster may not mirror the continuity on the coaching staff. I think that's the bigger concern for the Cowboys.
Now, shout out to my guy, Boss Cowboy, and there will be no final word tonight. He just hit me up saying that we won't be able to do final word tonight, but shout out to my guy, Boss Cowboy. I might go live independently at that time, just give or take of if I can clear up some of my schedule around that time, but neither here nor there. He tweeted out, I believe, last month, before all of this stuff hit the fan, about my guy Amari Cooper. And he said, hey, brace yourself, basically, I'm paraphrasing, that all off season, that Amari Cooper would be the punching bag, basically, about this salary. Now, the Cowboys have some strongholds already in place as relates to that. Let me see if I can go to my Twitter. And shout out to Michael Gelkin. He's a good follower on Twitter. Be sure to find him and follow him on Twitter. For the past 2 seasons or past 2 years, the Cowboys positioned themselves to part from Amari Cooper this offseason. And, here's the thing. Before we go into more details of everything, Cowboy Nation, here's the thing. I'll be dang if the Cowboys been already, it's like, yes, the escape hatch is cool and everything. And yes, the contract language and everything is visible to everyone. But this got to be one of the organizations that pretty much leak out too much stuff. And for them to go through this entire offseason with the notion of saying, yeah, we got built-in measures to get rid of a player if they don't suffice of what we want them to do. That's got to be crass in a sense, right? the escape hatch. And when it happened, in which I believe that it shouldn't happen, boy, we got to be dealing with some level of karma. We got to. It's crazy. It's crazy. Just don't block any people. Who's going on? What Jametta? What's going on? Hope here all is well. Shout out to you. Jason said 2 more times. D Hood said that's bull sugar. Yeah. Bull sugar all the way. Just sprinkled. All everywhere. Bull sugar.
The very presence, and RG3 brought this up, and it's interesting, the presence of Kellen Moore and particularly Dan Quinn and the pressure, the added layer of pressure perhaps, Mike, that puts on the head coach.
I actually think it's a good thing. I mean, Mike McCarthy knows it starts with discipline. You were the #1 team in the NFL in penalties. That has to get better. Look, the day that you become the head coach of the Cowboys, there's enormous pressure. So the fact that Dan Quinn and Kellen Moore are there, it just adds another layer. But it's going to be there anyway. And the other thing I want to put in context is they had a great offense. When Dak Prescott was the quarterback and Kellen Moore's calling the plays, they averaged 30 points a game and over 420 yards per game. That's outstanding. And this is the first time that Dak, not coming off of an injury, not dealing with a contract issue in a couple of years. So hopefully continuity will help them, Greeny. But to me, it's about discipline, and that goes back to the head coach. #1 in the league in penalties, and that is just unacceptable.
Yeah, #1 meaning in all the wrong ways. They were number 32 in the league in penalties, depending on how you want to look at it there. It's 2 sides of the same coin. All right, coming up here, we got
All right, so as I had a visitor to come into the office there, appreciate everybody for jumping in. I got to rewind because I didn't get a chance to hear what he said. But hold on, give me 1 second. Let me listen to this.
So hopefully continuity will help them, Greeny. But to me, it's about discipline, and that goes back to the head coach. #1 in the league in penalties, and that is just unacceptable.
Yeah, #1 meaning in all the wrong ways. They were number 32 in the league in penalties, depending on how you want to look at it there.
Yeah, that is alarming. So we got a chance to objectively listening to both sides of measures there. One being from Jayron Kearse. He said it's the players, because he is the player, right? That they got to do better. They got to do better. And from the talking heads over here, and I'm one of the talking heads, right? I'm a head that's talking. Said that it's basically the coaching. So when we look into this, we have to understand that everyone have a reason, but results are what matter. And the reality of it, if you are the #1 team in penalties, pretty much ranked at 32nd, then everybody got to hold each other accountable. You can't be going back and forth and say, it's the players, right? And the players can't be saying, yeah, it's us, man, it's us. At some point, you got to draw the line in the sand and revisit this situation and say to yourself, how can we get better? What measures can we hold accountable, to the guys that's causing these penalties? Now, we can point the finger. You got 3 pointing back at you when you point the finger at the officials, right? Because we can go back and forth talking about the NFL is rigged and these sorts of things. But dog it, you playing this game. Figure out a way to overcome the riggery. If you the coach and you ain't collecting the check, you ain't collecting that rig check, then figure it out. That life is rigged, right? Life is rigged. It is. Tax law is rigged. Nobody knows the tax laws, Tax law, boy, they'll throw you under the jail if you don't report your earnings in a certain way, if you got a business. If you're not reporting back to Uncle Sam. I was telling my tax preparer, can I claim Uncle Sam? Can I claim him? Life is rigged. It's full of rigged stuff. And life have his way of just showing you who's boss, right? It was a good friend of mine who was telling me that a woman in her community won the $2 million lottery or what have you. and just in 3 years, she was back broke. You know, I guess it wasn't meant for her to be wealthy. It wasn't meant for her to handle those amount of money. But I come here to tell y'all beautiful people, if Law Nation never hit 2 million, you know, I won't be broke in 2 years. I declare and decreeing. I'm gonna hide at least 500,000 somewhere, right? And some of y'all be like, man, I'm already a millionaire, you know. But that's just how life is. So this NFL in the way, we got to look into this thing. Discipline is discipline. Undisciplined is just undisciplined, regardless of it. And the Cowboys going to have to figure out a way, whether it be the individual players or whether it be the coaching staff saying, okay, all right, we're going to send this play into the NFL. We're not going to moan about it. You can put the B word in front of it. We're not going to B word and moan about it. We're going to make sure that we correct it. We're going to address it. We're going to look back at everything, and we're going to play different. We're going to listen to the how the officials like to call a certain game, and we're going to keep that to ourselves. I recall one part of this season, Coach Mike McCarthy came out to a public press conference, said, yeah, we like to look into the officials and see what tendencies they like to do. Poor sugar, man. Don't be telling everybody your plan. Don't be telling everybody your strategies. Hold some things close to the vest. Put it down on the blackjack table and make 2 million turn to 4 million. Yeah, this is Jackie Price. I know you're a multi-millionaire, Jackie. I feel you, though. Yeah. Laugh out loud. Draft a wide receiver. It will have to be a first round in. Shout out to you, the Reaper. Are you talking about, like, if the Cowboys do decide to get rid of Amari Cooper for money, basically? That would be the situation. To get rid of him. You know, I have to say this. Because Kellen Moore and my brother came up with this concept, he's a 49er fan, and he was saying that because Kellen Moore don't know how to utilize Amari Cooper, it may be best for the Cowboys to get rid of him. Right? It's crazy. It's like you having a car that's in a nice little car in the garage. You say, no, I don't know how to drive that one. It's a stick shift, and I'm just going to keep it there. Learn how to drive it. It's the fastest car you got. Learn how to drive it. Yeah, get a swap account. Yeah, appreciate you, Greg Berry. Appreciate you. PFF have some good scenarios with the Jags trading for Cooper for a second and a fifth rounder. I don't even want a fifth rounder. I don't want it. No, for what Cooper brings. Second rounder. Let me tell y'all something. The misevaluations of draft picks that we get and non-utilizations of such draft pick. Like, for real, let me be real with y'all. Wasn't Kelvin Joseph a second round draft pick? How often did we use him? You know? I recall last season when the Patriots were saying, okay, we're going to get J.C. Jackson an opportunity to test the market, but these are our constraints. We put a tender on him, and the tender was a second-round draft pick. And I looked at that report, and I said the Cowboys should be running to the table and putting in that offer to acquire J.C. Jackson, and you match him up with Trayvon Diggs. And if I pull up that video to this day, you can read the comment section, and people were saying, oh, man, J.C. Jackson, he ain't all that, dog. You know, he all right. You know, he just a system guy. I said, okay. But I guarantee you, my bottom dollar, that J.C. Jackson would be better than any draft pick that we pick in the second round, and it's just somehow we got Kelvin Joseph, right? But we still don't know what Kelvin Joseph is all about. But dog it, the Cowboys would have been set at DBs, right? You know, you have J.C. Jackson on one side, and then you have my guy, Trevor Diggs, or what he did on the other side. Man, that would be set for a second-round draft pick, meaning that you just give up this year's second-round draft pick. So I'm going to see who we going to get this year. No, I think I was wrong on it. It would have been this year's second-round draft pick. So in efforts, the Cowboys literally could have had Kelvin Joseph, J.C. Jackson, and Trevor Diggs. That's crazy. It's flat out crazy. But, you know, not everybody jumped on that opportunity, and everybody was kind of like, nah, you know, it is what it is. Shout out to y'all, man. But it is what it is. Kellen Moore need to learn how to put Pollard and CD in motion. This is from Go DJ. That's my DJ. It's fourth season for Kellen Moore, so he did improve from the previous season. So we'll see what he's going to do this season. I can't get mad at Kellen Moore. He's here to stay, by the way. So that's how all of this stuff goes, Cowboy Nation. I really appreciate you guys for tuning in for this episode. It's been a pleasure talking to you guys. There will be tape out there on Trevor Penning. Have you guys heard of him? Have you guys known of him? The Trevor Penning. I got his film ready to go, and I can't wait for you guys to give me your raw thoughts of Trevor Penning. For those who are out there who like my assessments and my thoughts, it's just my opinions of most of this stuff right here. Let's stay tuned. Let's jump in on this Trevor Penning. You know, how do you guys see him in this draft as a quote unquote Nathaniel, appreciate you. Shout out to you, and shout out to you, Jametta. How do you guys feel of Trevor? You know, is that somebody that you guys would love to see on this team from an offensive tackle situation? I got his information right here, and be sure to check it out while we get going in the other directions. Here we go, Trevor Penning. Be the first ones to watch it. Shout out to you, Jay Lombardi, Kenyon Green. Maybe I'll do his film assessment later. If he drops all the way to the 24th slot, that would be unique. And you know, I think that will be a situation where we can take a real good look at him. But Cowboys draft prospect Trevor Penning, Northern Iowa, offensive tackle. Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for jumping in and tuning in. And let's premiere this video. Did I already hit it public? Let's see. Let's premiere it. Let's premiere this video so we can have a party over there, you know. So if you're coming in from the party, let's premiere this video. Let's see if it can premiere. It's already public. Okay, it's already public. Let's go, Cowboy Nation. Jump in over there, and we will see you guys on the other side. I thank those who tuned in. Thank those who subscribe. Be sure to check out that film assessment on Trevor Penning. Let me know of your thoughts. Break it down with me. And I'll tell you what, this is what we would do. We'll watch together right here before we get up out of here. How about that? Let's look into the film. And let's do that. Let's do that. Hold on. Hold your horses. We'll watch it together, and that way we can get things going the best way possible for you all. How y'all been doing, though? Y'all been doing all right? Y'all okay? You know, thank y'all. I just got the notification. Appreciate you, Natasha. Thank you so much. Let me build this plane while it's in there. Bam. I go here. I go property. Nope. Bam. Y'all bear with me. Here we go. Here we go for another show. Windows capture. Bam. And add source. Where my YouTube at? There we go. Bam. There we go. Done. Look at that. Look at that. I'm cleaning up a little bit. Here we go. It will give me a hard time right here. This is how you build a plane while it's in the air, baby. There we go. Let's go. In this video, we will be looking at Trevor Penning, an offensive tackle, tall, physical, big guy, nasty. Now, you're talking about a guy that's 6'7", 330 pounds, plays through the echoes of the whistle. I like the ideal of Trevor in this particular draft. You're talking about somebody that's tall, got length, got everything that you could want out of an offensive tackle. Now, before I talk glowingly of Trevor, let's talk about the cons. He don't have a lot of bend. He tend to be too upright, and his pad level's a little too high. And on top of that, yes, he's versatile. Maybe you can give him a look inside as a guard, but his role is tackle. And you can see he got long arms, he got strength, he's strong, but his weakness, he don't have a lot of bend. And on top of that, at times it tends to see that his stamina may be an issue too. But that's a story of a different day. I like his nastiness. He's tough. One scouting report that I read, they put savage in there. You know, savage Penning. I love that mindset. And when you're talking about an offensive lineman, one thing that you must be able to do is have that temperament. And he brings that to the table. The temperaments of, I'm going to shoot you down. I'm going to fight you, punch you, claw at you, scrape you up. And that is what Trevor exhibits. Now, all right, Cowboy Nation, really appreciate y'all. Check it out. It's on my YouTube page. Be sure to hit me up there. Give me your thoughts, your feedback on Trevor. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. We up out of here, baby. You know, moments like this and time like this equates an opportunity for us to pick up this thing called football and life. But the reality of it, Cowboy Nation, we still got to take it one day at a time. These guys that's going into this particular, hear me out, this particular off season, they got to stay realigned and focused. We got crazy things that's going on in this world, collectively speaking. But it is what it is. Yo, shout out to you, True Vibes. See y'all next live. I love that. True Vibes. See y'all next live. Booty rocking everywhere. Greg Berry. Appreciate you. Sadiqua Charles and Stephen White. Appreciate y'all, man. And one thing I can tell you, tell me not and mourn for numbers. Life is but an empty dream, for a soul is dead that slumbers and things are not what they seem. This life is real, and this life is earnest, and the grave is not its goal. Dust they are, to dust returneth was not even spoken of the soul. In this broad fields of battle, ambivalence of life, Cowboy Nation, don't be like a dumb driven cattle, like the ESPN, the 4-ladder, the 3-ladder, the cricket ladder, whatever ladder network they are. But be a hero in the strife. Lives of great men all remind us yes, we can live our lives sublime and departing, leave behind us footprints on mighty sands of time. Now that's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Let's go, Cowboy Nation. That's when you turn the voice on a little bit. And let's go, Cowboy Nation. Gotta put a little growl in it. Yeah. Golf professionals. TCC. Go DJ. Round up. Let's go, True high. Cowboy Nation, lock in, refocus, baby. We about. Why don't you lean forward just a little bit? Get off my screen. But I had to do it to him.